So this is my full commuting Tailfin setup, if I've got to take a lot of stuff to work. In another normal day, the only thing I take to work is my aero pack, because I've just got a change of clothes in there. I leave a pair of shoes at work, so I don't have to worry about getting shoes and that sort of thing. So it's just a change of clothes in there on a daily basis. And I think I've got a couple of spare tubes in there, and a few other little things that I take to work. But for the past week, I've been commuting with 1 or 2 panniers on my bike. So the 22 litre panniers are new, and I'm not a massive fan of large panniers. I've had them on my previous bikes, and they've always made my bike feel a little bit unstable, and I can always kind of feel them wiggling around on the back end. But I have to say this about the Tailfin ones: they're absolutely rock solid. They do not move. And on the ground, I've also got the 2 little 5 litre mini panniers, which I use for bike packing. And then in the front, I've got the top tube, 0.8 litre top tube, so a small one. So why did I get the 22 litre panniers? A couple of reasons. As I said, I'm having to take more things to work sometimes that won't fit in the top, the aero pack. So they have to go to backpack, and I find riding with a backpack, now that I've been doing it without one for so many years, I find it really uncomfortable when I've got to put all that weight in the bag. So on the right hand side of my bike, I've got my laptop. I've got a beefy gaming laptop. So it weighs like 2.5, 3 kilos, because it's got its own graphics card and high-powered fans and all the things that gaming laptops come with that make them beefy, as well as a pretty beefy charger, because it needs its charger, because battery life on it is a bit crap. And on the left hand side, I've got a bunch of tools, my tool belt, some tape, the lock for my bike, because I was on site this week, so I needed to have my bike locked up, and my hard hat. So it's quite weighty in the back at the minute, I'm not gonna lie. So I've needed extra space, and a couple of weeks ago when I was bike packing with the little man, I had the 5 litre panniers on my bike, and then so in the aero pack I had my tent, which is what I put in there, and my cook set, and a small towel, and then clothes would go in the 5 litre panniers, but my poor little man in his trailer, he had loads of stuff. Some stuff I've learned I don't need to take because I didn't use it, but like he had next to him in the other seat, because it's a 2-seater, he had both of the sleeping pads not bolted in, but strapped in next to him, because they're quite bulky Vengo ones, so you could have matching ones. I've got a much lighter weight one that goes into my handlebar bag for when I go on my own with friends. Like his snacks, that he needed lots of snacks, nappies, because he's only 20 months old, so he's not potty trained yet. His clothes, rain jackets, etc. Were all in with him. So like the boot, if you will, of his trailer was full. The seat next one was full. The footwell was full, and he didn't really have a lot of room for himself. So if I can take some of that out and put it on the bike, some of the bulkier, lighter weight items, and put it on the bike, then that will make things a lot easier for him next year when we go. He can have more space. So the Tailfin system is absolutely rock solid. So reasons why I invested. It is an investment, I'm not going to lie, it's very expensive equipment. Reasons why I invested in Tailfin is I have an extra small bike. This is 46 centimetres. And while I have quite a lot of seat post showing, with the biggest saddle pack I could fit in there, it's still only not a massive amount of clearance between the saddlebag and the rear wheel, and on quite bumpy terrain it would bounce up and down and occasionally rub on the rear wheel if I didn't have it packed completely right. And you know how it is sometimes, you try to pack up in a rush in the morning, so you just pack it and then you've got to repack it and stop because things are bouncing. And it's just annoying. So I opted for the Aero Pack. It's the all-in-one, aluminium with the 3 mounting points on it in case I decide to get some cages someday, because there's clearance between the bag and my rear wheel. I can fit quite a bit in it. I normally put my tent in it, my cooking set, a little bit of food, and a tiny little microfiber towel into it, and then clothes and whatnot go in the 5 litre panniers, which are right there on the floor. My sleeping system goes in my handlebar bag, and then I fit various other things on the bike where I can. So you know, it is what it is. So this is the 0.8 litre top tube bag. So if I'm using this one, I put my phone in here, and keys, and my smart card for the trains, because I cycle home. So this on my bike mounts with just the Voil type straps. I've used both shorter ones. It comes with a third longer one if you need it, but it also comes with, if you've got mounting points on your top tube, some bolts to mount it in there, and a spare thing for your zipper. So, and this doesn't move, like I've knocked it, etc., and it is absolutely solid. My legs don't rub up against it, which is what I found. For some reason I have toe peak top loaders. I don't know why, but they're just too big for my bike, whereas the 0.8 litre is the perfect size and it's not rubbing on me or anything else. So it is absolutely brilliant. So in the bag itself, so this just pops open like that. So in the bag itself, there's loads of storage space. There is a pocket that fits up to a 17-inch laptop. I've got a 15-inch, it fits in there brilliantly, and a little zip pocket that you put like pens or important paperwork or whatever you need there. And then it's completely waterproof. It's got a little valve to let air out. Mounting points for rear lights, reflective patches. I've managed to mount a rear light just onto that. It's perfect, it doesn't droop. And then I've got another one just underneath there, and again, it can be seen by cars, and it's brilliant. They do sell a mounting point, and so I have a Tailfin mounting system. It's really nice and easy. So, like I said, it's absolutely solid, so that pops up, and that just pops off. So, as you can see, there's a pannier mount, there's the 3 bolt holes, and I've got the through axle mount. And for my other bike, I have the quick release, because that's still room brake with quick release. All my bikes are carbon. This one has mounting points for a rack, but it's only rated to 5 kilos. Sometimes I gotta take more than that. So yeah, whereas the Tailfin is rated to like 27. It's a ridiculous amount. Definitely not that much weight on it. So yeah, so that is my Tailfin system. I'm not going to bother showing you the Aero Pack. There's loads of videos out there, or showing my laptop on the other side. The pannier looks the exact same on the other side.